those people you saw on the video, they are the ones with whom she was your wife. She's at the hands of ISIS.
There's a big human rights story that's hardly getting any attention. Its name is Eritrea.
The Commission found that systematic, widespread and gross human rights violations have been and are being committed with impunity in Eritrea under the authority of the government.
A 480-page report released by the UN in June hardly made a blip in the news, despite stacking a huge number of testimonies that speak of systematic abuse, execution, torture, and forced labor, perpetrated by a regime that has been running the country for the past 22 years. The result is that Eritreans are fleeing in their thousands, making up the third largest group of asylum seekers crossing the Mediterranean to Europe this year. But their persecution does not stop there. On their way to freedom, Christian Eritreans are increasingly being targeted by ISIS. In March and June, the group kidnapped about 170 Eritreans, including at least 12 women and 8 children. In both cases, they were traveling in mixed convoys, but the Eritreans and some Ethiopians were singled out because they were Christians. Some of those taken in March ended up in an infamous video that ISIS released from Libya, in which 2 groups of men were beheaded and shot in the head. Migrant Report spoke to Muse, whose wife managed to flee in May and is now desperately trying to join her husband in Germany. Muse said his wife didn't tell him she left Eritrea. He tried to persuade her not to travel. His plan was to obtain refugee status in Germany and then have his wife and boy join him legally. But she grew impatient. She left from Asmara in January and surprised him with a call from Sudan, Khartoum. He told her to go back, but a month later she called again, this time from Libya. Eventually she made her way to Ashdabia, a big collection point for East Africans moving into Libya, and headed out for Tripoli, which is where she was kidnapped on March 2nd. From Muse's account and other testimonies gathered by NGOs, the group was likely kidnapped at a checkpoint in Naufalia, on the road from Ashdabia.
It's been 10 days, it passed 10 days, 12 days, and I didn't hear anything from her. So I called again to the guy with whom I had contact, and he told me, I don't know, most probably she's at the hands of ISIS.
ISIS, which now has control of nearby Sirte, has been known to operate from this area. But then, on May 15th, she called, out of the blue.
She told me that she's in the midst of nowhere. She escaped from them. I contacted her, I asked her, can I speak with Yotam, please? And she kept saying he's sleeping, he can't talk to you now, he's sleeping. But then she decided to pass the phone to her friend, Lydia, and Lydia explained to me what happened exactly. And she told me that he was sick, and we told them to do something about it, and they just took him away and they brought him back dead.